and it's going to be a little smaller than the bottom of his head to the top of his hat. So it'll be, I'm going to just go ahead and measure it out. If I'm measuring from the bottom of the head to the top of the hat, I'm going to move that over to the bottom of his head, and I'll put a little line right here up above my thumb, since his body is just a little bit shorter than that. Does that make sense? So just saying, if he's about 2 heads tall, just about. So after we've got that with the circle hat and the little head, I think there's a few more people on. Well, we're drawing Toad from Mario. Doing more video game characters today because that was a hit last time. So what I'm doing now is I'm gonna draw his round little body, and I might fix this up a little bit more, but it's basically an oval, and it's coming straight down from the roundness of his little face. So it's kind of egg shaped or oval shaped. I'm just kind of sketching it out. Okay. So it's just so far the little mushroom hat, which we'll add the circles to at the end, the little spots, and then the head that goes underneath the hat, and then his little round oval body. All right. So once you're done with those steps, if you could show me or give me a thumbs up so that I know we can continue. Awesome. Good job, Kaya. Good job, AJ. Elizabeth, I think I saw your thumbs up. That's great. Good job, Rico. Awesome. Yay! Toad is coming along great. Okay, so now we're gonna continue with his body. I'm gonna go ahead and add his little clothes. He has it's kind of a little top that it reminds me of Aladdin, similar to his little top. And then his pants. So that was it basically makes an H in the center of his body, and then 2 little lines connecting to the ends of his torso. Make sense? After that, he has a little line, 2 lines that are yellow that kind of outline his shirt. So I'll just be making little L shapes inside that vest. The vest, that's the word, vest. Little L shapes inside the vest. And then the mirroring L, it's kind of backwards L. So an L and a backwards L inside the little vest. So it was basically an H in the middle of his body, little lines, and then L's. All right, so thumbs up or show them off once we got that step. Thanks, guys. Awesome. These are looking great. Very nice. Okay, so after we've got that, I'm going to go ahead and round out the bottom part of his body. Made it a little flat, so I'm just taking this little step to just round it out. And now I'm going to draw his feet. They're just these round little dome shapes. A dome is like, it's a hill, but then it's like kind of flatter down at the bottom of the hill. So 1 dome-shaped foot, leaving room for the other one right next to it. Maybe a little space in between. Yeah. And the second dome shape. So pretty simple. I'll give you guys a second to get that step done. And once you do, just give me a thumbs up or show him to me. Can I repeat that step? All I did for that step was 2 little domes for the feet. I'm just re-outlining what I just did, just so you can see the movement, the shape of it. It's like 2 little hills with flat underneath. Make sense? All right, good job, Rico. Awesome, guys. Are we ready to move on? Thumbs up. AJ's ready. Kay is ready. Good. Omar, thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, cool. Let's move on. We're almost done. There's not too much left of Toad. So I'm just erasing some of my little sketchy lines right now because we don't really need them anymore. If you're just joining in or you haven't done very many of these steps, don't worry. We'll share this to YouTube and you can always catch up then. And yeah, we're gonna do a few more, at least 2 more. So you can always jump in on one of those too. So after that, after I think I just did the feet and then I erased some of the little sketchy lines. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do his arms. And they're following the curve of his body, but they're just going a little bit out. He doesn't really have a neck. So it's just, following that curve, but it's just kind of more outward. It's not right up against his body. We're leaving some space between the arm and the body. And then 2 little lines to kind of close up his arm on both sides. Pretty simple. And then his hands in this picture are in a fist, so they're just going to be round. They're just going to be round little hands connected to the arms, because that's how hands work. They're connected to the arms, right? So after that, I'm just doing these little, it's like a little T right down here in the roundest part of the hand, because that's where like his hands come to a fist. I'll show you in the image. They slightly come to a fist, you see? So that's how I did it, but I just added little T shapes. And that is sufficient and reads as his hands in the fist shape. So what was that? That was adding the arms, the hands, and the little T shape. It's all very soft and round. It's not very angular. Not made up of a bunch of edges. Okay. And then once you've got that step down, you can show them off to everybody, or you can, awesome, I've got some wonderful artists. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at your little toad. That's great. Okay. Or thumbs up as always. You can always thumbs up. Just let me know so we can move on to the next. Thanks, Omar. Okay, thanks, Rico. You guys are so great. Oh my gosh. Okay, so next we will add his details, which are just the spots on his little mushroom hat and his face. That is also very simple. So I'll tell you what, we'll do the most exciting spot. It's right in the middle and takes up a good amount of space of his hat. It's right in the center. Just making a circle. These are red. His hat is white with red spots. So this one in the center, and then 2 on the side, which are just semicircles. You don't see the full circle. It's just making this smooth C-shaped line. So those 3 spots on his mushroom hat one in the middle, two on the sides. Easy peasy. And then little oval eyes, very much like Kirby for those of you who got to draw Kirby last week. Very similar with those little tall ovals for the eyes and little shiny pupils, which are just smaller circles within the ovals at the top. Last but not least, he's got a smile with two little boop boop. I'm going to color in his eyes since they're black. And there's Toad. Ta-da! So once you're done with that, if you'd like to, you can share your Toad with us. I'm excited to see. Kaya, that looks wonderful. Good job. Awesome. AJ, Rico, wonderful. You guys did awesome. Cool. Okay. All right, we will move on to the next character, which is Yoshi. Okay. Yoshi is a bunch of circles and curved lines too, so he won't be too tricky, but he is a few more steps. He's not as simple of a character. Two of them are from Mario. If we do get a chance to get to Sonic, he's from, well, Sonic. But they're in some of the same videos together. I think like Sonic and Mario at the Olympics, if you guys have heard of that. Also, Sonic is in Smash, I think. I'm like 90% sure. So yeah, video game related. They're all video game related. That's how they're related. I like to always have a theme for you guys. Okay, so we'll move on to Yoshi. I'm gonna do another circle. This is gonna be the circle that is his nose. We're gonna work on the nose first, and then we'll kind of add to his body to everything else. Yeah, lots of circles. I think it's an easy first step, and it helps us map out all the rest of our drawing. So we got that circle nose, right? And then next to it, and kind of intertwined with it, you guys might have made these before in class, like at school, Venn diagrams. It's gonna kind of look like one of those. I see some nods, awesome. You guys are remembering? It's kind of gonna look like that. It's gonna be an oval next to it, and it kind of has that little shared space like a Venn diagram. That's gonna be where his cheeks are, but they do overlap because of the shape of his head. That's just kind of how it would make the most sense to break it down. So that circle, and then an oval that does kind of make that Venn diagram like what we do at school. Good job. That's the, all right, yes. Awesome. Up next, we're gonna do two ovals next to each other. That's gonna be where his eyes are, and we'll erase some of these sketchy shapes eventually, but these are just our placeholders for what it will look like. So we're breaking down the shapes right now, and then we'll do like more of the line work that follows these shapes later. After you got those two ovals up top for his eyes, I want you guys to, from the center right here of this little Venn diagram looking area, make a J that kind of swoops back up. So essentially more of a U shape, but it starts off like a J, so kind of goes like this. Whoop. Make sure it has some distance between like what will be his cheek and what will be his tail. And we'll clean this up. We'll make it more clear line work. This is just kind of our the sketch before we do the cartoon line work. Okay. And then once you guys have those steps, I think it was just the eyes and the you since we last checked in. I do want to check in, so do show me what you have so far or give me a thumbs up after you've done those steps. Thanks, AJ. Thanks, Kaya. Awesome, Rico. Thank you. All right, thumbs up from Omar. Awesome. Cool. Thumbs up from Parker. Thanks, Parker. Awesome. Okay, we will move on then. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add his shoes. And I mean, this is the least, no, I take it back. It's still kind of the shapes of it. We'll go back and we'll do the more detailed lines. I'm just doing mine kind of light and sketchy, but it's, just a line down, a flatter line for the sole that touches the ground, and then a little curve up, right? After that, I'm going to, from the tip of the tail, make a little diagonal line downwards to the right, and then add a little bubbly curved line, and then a line that kind of resembles this one, but on the other side, touching his cheek. So that was the shoes, and then a line down from the tip of the tail going down, kind of bubbles up. That's where his shell will be. And then his neck going from his shell to the cheek. So it's kind of closing that gap up. Okay. Awesome. Good work, guys. Very nice. Thanks, Rico. Good job. Okay. Next, we will kind of go back in. Oh, wait, no. There's one more thing. The hands, the arms and hands. We'll come back to that, actually. We're going to kind of add those in along with the other details and the cleaner line work. So from here, we're going to be kind of connecting these shapes more. So we're going to start with the nose. We're going to kind of go back in and make a darker line that's outlining the shapes that we've made. But right now, yeah, so go from about right here on the circle where it's kind of close to touching the eyes, kind of a darker line. And then we're not going to totally close it off, but we are going to come up with it and give him a smile. So it's following that curved line, and then we're just going to give him that little smile line. And there's his smile. It kind of goes right with the flow of the circle from the nose. Underneath it, a little curved line, that'll be his chin, underneath the mouth, of course. We're gonna do a little bit of a curved line following that J that we did, right? And then we'll come back to this area. We're going to now come back to this side of his neck. We're gonna do the rest of the outline of the head right now. So I'm following that line that I have from that oval that made the Venn diagram, right? So this is like the back of his head and like his cheek area. There's a little bubble curve again that is where his, it's just this little like, whoop, going from like right in between his cheek and his eyes. So that's that little curve that I just did. And then I'm gonna do just the two tops of the eyes and back down touching the nose. Does that make sense? This kind of M shape. So it is a lot of following those the shapes that we made. Um, and it kind of makes it look more cohesive, more we understand what's going on now after we broke down the shapes. And we don't need these sketchy lines anymore of the circles. So other than what we just outlined, you can go back and erase those parts. Not the body though, just in the head. Make sense? And then that was quite a bit of steps. Um, so after that, please do give me a thumbs up or show them off just so that we can check in and make sure that we're on the same page. Thank you, Kaya. All right, thanks, AJ. Thanks, Omar. Good work, guys. Awesome, Rico. Thanks, Parker. Very nice. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and work on the outlines of the rest of the body before we do the final details of his like kind of markings and his eyes. So like his details we'll do at the very last part, okay? So we're gonna do the shell. We made that little curve on his back, that little hump on his back. That's gonna be his shell. He has a little white part right here and it kind of sinks back down into his back. And then it's like the lip of the shell. Does that make sense? So it's just the curved part of the shell and then this little lip or this little, it looks like maybe a noodle, like a U-shaped kind of thing underneath the shell. That is, you know, this red part and then the white part. Okay. I hate to break it to you guys, but we don't have enough time to do Sonic, so we will end on this Yoshi today. But you guys have two amazing Nintendo characters that you've done today after we finish this Yoshi, okay? So we are ending on a good note for sure. We still have a few minutes to wrap up the Yoshi, so we'll do that. I know. Hopefully next time, right? Yeah, so okay. That's okay. All right, moving on. We did that shell. We're gonna kind of follow that line again with the tail. And this part's easy. We're really just going over this with the darker line. And I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna do some more of the details of the boots. They're these round little boots with just a few extra curves. It's okay if we don't get all of them, but I do just wanna break it down a little bit. There's a curved part right here. It kind of makes like an E. And then here. And then he kind of has little line underneath, kind of that like rubber sole part of the shoe. On this side, it's just 1, 2, 3. You're seeing less of the shoe and behind it, so less steps. Then we're gonna come up here. We're just gonna do a little bit because we still have to add in the arms and hands. So just a quick little thumbs up to let me know that you're ready. We'll move on once I get that thumbs up or show off. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Kaya. Thank you, Rico. Okay, wrapping it up. So from the shell, making this shape, like a stretched out V kind of shape. And then I'm adding, it's almost a circle or like, well, it's gonna be 3 curved lines. So 1, 2, these are his knuckles. So 1 knuckle, 2 knuckle, 3 knuckles, and this closes the gap between this kind of softened like the or U shape, and then 1, 2, 3 knuckles, okay? All right. After that arm, we're gonna do the other arm on the other side, and it's 3 knuckles as well. So it's 1, 2, and 3. And make sure it closes the gap like 2. So it's connected to this part of his torso, like neck, kind of belly area. So it's 1, 2, 3. And then all we have left are his details. So from not the tip of his tail, maybe around right here in line with his hand, but on this side, I'm going to do a curved line. It's kind of following that J shape from earlier. And it will go up to his cheek, like this bottom part of that cheek. So it's just going from here, kind of jumping right over here and putting it to end here. That's the part it separates because his like cheeks and tummy are white and then the rest of his body is green. But some of you might know he does have a few different colors. So like sometimes I've seen like yellow Yoshi or pink Yoshi, but they all look the same. It's just that they're different colors. So this would be the step for any of them. So if you guys want to color after this class, you can color your Yoshi whatever color you want. So then all I did that I didn't explain was I added in the separation where his cheek is white. It's just a curved C-shaped line going from right here on the head to the smile line. So that's all I did for the cheek. And then he just, all he has left that we have to do are his eyes, his little nostrils, and then he has 3 spikes. We'll do the spikes for last. So after we do the curved lines that separate his colors, we will do a quick short little line right here coming off of this nose circle closest to the eyes. Whoop. That's all you do. Just that curved little line. And now we're going to follow this M shape, but it's just going to be a little bit lower down. This is going to separate his eyes from his eyelids. All right, so 1 and 2. Thumbs up or hold it up when you're done with that step, please. Thanks, Omar. Thanks, Rico. Wonderful. Awesome. Thanks, Parker. Just 3 steps left. All right. All right, here we go. So not last, close to last, we're gonna do his little pupils. He doesn't really have any more eye details than just these 2 dark ovals, 1 and 2. Pretty simple. After that, we're gonna do 2 little nostrils. Very small little curves that curve upwards. All right, last but not least, years of practice to answer your question, Rico. So after the 2 little nostrils, we're just gonna do 3 little mountains for his spikes. He's got 3 spikes there in orangish color. 1 right behind this little curved line. So 1 at the back of that area. 1 that's pretty central to his head, like the center of his head, I mean. And then one more, 3. They're kind of they are in a row. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. They're not very sharp, but they're pretty soft. He's just, I think that's kind of more of like that sort of character design that's very intentional to say he's not ferocious, he's not mean. He does have these little spikes, but they're soft. He's a friendly guy. So, that's Yoshi. And that is all that we have time for today. If you'd like to share him with us one last time, that would be wonderful. If not, just a thumbs up. Let me know you got all that. Awesome work, guys. I'm so proud of you guys. Wonderful. Okay. Well, that's it for today. There is going to be a 1 o'clock class called Instrument Exploration. So stay tuned for that if you're interested.